You were afraid to love. What if that were the only difficulty that you have experienced in your life? And what if that could be the only difficulty that we see in our world? And I think that that's probably true. Last night, I published a Wilhelm message that said, "You could be ready now." Sometimes I receive information well before I do anything with it, but I was guided to published that last night, but it was the message for today. And then after I did that, I looked at another message because I'm always guided. We experience ourselves in our consciousness. We have different levels, and we can decide how much we're going to experience of those different levels because that's a choice that we each make. We will do it in different ways. And sometimes it can be really surprising. Sometimes it can frighten you because that's your ascension process. We all move through it, or personal develop, whatever you want to say, whatever gives you a sense that you matter and that your life has meaning and purpose and that you're on the earth to do something. So when I was guided last night, I found this message that I knew I was meant to share with you today, and it probably has relevance to you and also to our world. And this is the message that came through. My guys like to use dates because that's how we pay attention. And so this one came through on the 29th in 2020. And it was this. Oops, sorry. You were afraid to love. Today, this message took a while to be received by Roger because he was fighting with us. Many of you may do the same. Roger was convinced there were exceptions to what we are about to say, but you will find it challenging to locate them. First of all, we are speaking to each of you individually and your world collectively, primarily due to the current world conditions and the events in the United States. We have given you several messages on this subject, but we will summarize here. Love is the most powerful force that exists. It is powerful because it does not restrict its energy. It does not limit its energy and continues to expand because love is the absence of all judgment. If each of you were to come to understand and accept this concept, you and your world will evolve exponentially. The next thing to understand is you are all born benevolent beings. And when you stray from that understanding, you have conflicts because you have chosen not to be loving. You may get the sense this message will require study, but it will be worth it. If love is the most powerful energy and you are not feeling powerful, you have been afraid to love yourself. If you think others have more than you have been afraid to love yourself. When you judge your life or experiences as bad, you believe yourself to be bad, so there is no love experience. There is so much to give you, but we will leave you with this. Every experience you have in your life, whether or not you label them to be good, bad, right, or wrong, all have the same purpose, which is to cause you to love yourself and in turn, all others, as you are all one. You and your world are coming to understand this. I have been receiving information like this since 1988, but in 2020, it became very apparent to me that there was a definite change happening in our world. But I knew that before because I changed my life back in 2016, and many of you will find that. And if you go to my website and if you read the articles that are there, going back to the earliest one that's there now is 2016, and you will see that I knew where we would be moving in our lives and in our world. We're moving through a mass ascension. I'm going to do a talk on this, as I said. I'm going to Gaia and recording a show Beyond Belief with George Nuri because I need to give this information to many more people. It was challenging for me to accept this. When I do a Wilhelm channeling session or whenever I'm receiving this information, I'm in a different state of consciousness. There is a video that was released today that's on the message on any advice for today that says, you you might be ready. You could be ready now. And there is a channeling session from about a year ago that's connected to that. And if you listen to that, you will understand more. You are moving through an ascension process. And so you could be afraid. You could be frightened. You could be moving through all kinds of things, or mainly you're having doubt about who you are and all of that. And so when I was told, I was given a philosophy for this time, that was really challenging for me to accept, but it's here. See, I was told that I was given this your life operating instructions, which I put into a program. And so I was told I was given that because it would help uplift the collective. And if you listen to that other channeling session, you will see that there was a time where I stopped taking hearing individual voices and just had Stan, my associate, read the questions, because Wilhelm told me this information is for the collective. And so I can give it to everyone in a program, which is what I've done. But now I'm making changes, as you all know, and that's why I have so much more to put in. I'm 73, and I just need you all to understand this, because I don't want you to judge yourself. I don't want you to doubt yourself. And I'm doing a talk on Friday, actually, Instagram, with Awakening with Sandra, and she picked the perfect title. We can do anything, and that's true. I have moved through every illness, every disease, every difficulty, every failure, all of that. And so this is why I'm saying this information I was given was to give any individual the ability to live this great life. And it doesn't matter what you do, if you're in business, if you're in any other kind of vocation, you will have blockages that prevent you from understanding who you are. I was able to receive this information. And the reason that I know it worked is because it healed me. And that's what I want for others. I will never tell you that you will accomplish the same things that I will, because I think you can do more, because that's what we're each meant to do. We're coming to the world, we gather information, live lives, and then we give it back to further other generations. I will tell you, this felt too big for me. I ran from it, and sometimes we do that. I had this vivid dream in 2005 that I was meant to bring in something to the world that was going to help uplift. And I said, I tried to run from that. I thought that's not possible. And then someone found this message that this dream that I had hidden away, and brought it back to me and said, here, listen to this and read it and catch up, because I could see it there. And then the same thing happened last night. This same friend sends me a text message, and I sent something back to him, and I said, I'm so proud of you. And he says, why? I said, you kept your word. See, that's the other thing that we can do. We had to become accountable to ourselves. That's how we love ourselves. And so when I sent that message back to him, he goes, why? What did I do? I said, you sent back what you said you were going to do. That's a new step. And he says, baby steps. He sends me that message, baby steps. And I sent him a message that Wilhelm had given me, because they said they'd given me every single thing about personal development and ascension and self-actualization. I sent him back a message that said baby steps, and he sends me back, he's in tears, because it was so resonant. And those who have been in my work in the program know the same thing happens, something I could not explain. And I want all of us to let go of our disbelief of who we can become, and please decide to love yourself. And you can check out all of my work, and please subscribe to this channel if you have not done so before. But you can find all the links to the work in the video description, or always on my website, rogerburnley.com. Love yourself today.